we're live. We're going to be doing a weekend recap of the top ranked card on Friday and the Tszyu versus Fundora card from yesterday. Crazy fights that happening, so decided to do a little live show. I want to implement more of these. I already got a new mic, Blue Yeti Snowball mic, which I think it's Blue Yeti, but Snowball mic for Easter. Happy Easter to everybody. Great holiday. So let's get right into it. Just a reminder to subscribe to my YouTube, Big Donch, and follow me on TikTok and Instagram, also called Big Donch. So there was some big fights even on Friday. Top Rank always puts out good cards. Already Richard Torres, he got a knockout even though it was against an Uber driver, but he still got it. What I want to see from Richard Torres is, actually start testing him. He's a small heavyweight, you know what I mean? If he cut weight, be a cruiserweight, he could be dominant, but it's hard for me to see him against champions like AJ, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder even Andy Ruiz, I think beats Torres. I don't know. I have maybe in like the top 20 heavyweights, but I don't think Richard Torres beats the top 10 heavyweight. I'm serious about that. But he has skill and he's fun to watch, so that's really all that matters. So that's the top ranked card. That was in Arizona. It was Liam Wilson versus Oscar Valdez. There was women's fights as well, which some people say there was robbery for it, but I didn't get a chance to watch that. It was March Madness. So I was watching that. That's on right now. Duke, go Duke. But yeah, so that was really top rank. I didn't really catch it much. The big fights though of the weekend. I'm just testing my audio real quick. Go Duke. But yeah, so good audio. So I'm just testing the audio. I got a new mic, like I just mentioned earlier, so that's what I want to do. And let's talk about the big weekend fight. And that was Rolly versus Cruz and Fundora versus Tszyu. It was supposed to be Keith Thurman versus Tszyu, but things changed. Thurman got injured. Sebastian Fundora came in, and he shocked the world. So my fault. I got hair in my eye. Anyway, Carmel Moten versus Cuba. Now I thought this fight was going to go a lot better, and it was. It was a scrap. Carmel Moten, very respectful fighter, very good young fighter, part of the Mayweather team. And I really do have a lot of respect for him. He was respectful after the fight, very skillful fighter. Listed as 5'2", that's hard to believe, alrighty? That's going to affect him a bit. It might. We see what Isaac Cruz could do, and, depending if he has to stay lower in the divisions. Featherweight, super featherweight, lightweight, he could do some damage, unless he hits a growth spurt, which he still could. He's only 17 years old. But usually I'm not too big on the prospects, especially guys out of the Mayweather camp, okay, because I know they're cocky. But this guy's actually respectful. I really like Carmel Moten. He's not even a guy, he's a kid, so a lot of respect for him. And, for that, I respect him, and I hope he goes as far as he could in his career. He's definitely going to be dangerous, very skillful fighter. It looks like he's been boxing for 30 years, and he's only 17, so that's that for Carmel Moten. We got to start bumping up his, resume, because I feel like he's already too advanced compared to other prospects. Prospects need about 15 fights before they really face a top-notch fighter. This guy's one of the best prospects ever, especially coming into America. So I like to see Carmel Moten get a more important fight later on. He's not fighting Uber drivers like he wasn't fighting an Uber driver last fight. That Cuba guy was a pretty skillful fighter. Carmel beat him up. He beat him up. So I would like to see in the next 3 or 4 fights. And I think that was only Carmel's third fight. So I'd like to see in the next 3 or 4 fights, Moten to get a top dog. That would be nice to see, because I feel like he's ready. That's why. I'm not saying that because I want to see the kid get hurt or get beat up. That's not it. I'm not rooting for him to lose. I just want to see him really get tested. And I feel because he's ready. That's really all I'm trying to say. He's actually ready for these fights compared to other prospects who need 10 to 15 fights before they fight an actual solid fighter. I think Moten's ready now within the next 2 or 3 fights. So I like to really see that. It's basically a Lomachenko situation. I think Lomachenko's one of the best amateur boxers ever, but he ended up getting a title shot in the second pro fight. Moten might not be as good as an amateur as Lomachenko was, but, for a 6th or 7th fight, competing for an interim title or an international title, like WBC international title, if that's a thing anymore, something like that. Just see him actually compete now early in his career. He could get going. He could become an all-time great. I really mean that just watching him. But that was the undercard. Our preliminaries, I guess you could say. The undercard was really Rolly versus Cruz, or the co-main. I consider the co-main. I was very, very excited for this fight. Rolly Romero versus Isaac Cruz. I was rooting for Rolly because he's a fun boxer to watch, and he's a unique character. It would have been funny to actually see him win. However, I was perfectly fine with Isaac Cruz winning. That dude just kept pressuring all night. He just wanted to take Rolly's head off. Rolly was throwing punches. Isaac Cruz's head was just staying still. It wasn't even moving. It was like a boulder, taking good shots, and it didn't even move. I mean, I gotta get that neck workout that Isaac Cruz has. But he was just pressuring and walking Rolly down on the ropes, and Rolly really started to. He looked feared at the end, like he was like really feared of Isaac Cruz. But I have a lot of respect for Rolly. He went out on his shield. All right, I get it. Rolly's a weird character in boxing. He's unique. He's goofy, but he went out on a shield. All right, that second to last round, I think the referee shouldn't even let him come out for the last round. He was wobbling. He didn't even know where his corner was, but he still came out. And for that, I respect. And I hope everybody watching, I hope everybody who was rooting for Isaac Cruz and hates Rolly, just for sake of boxing, I hope you can respect a guy like Rolly who comes back out and wants to fight even though he didn't even know where his corner was the round before. A lot of respect for Rolly, whether you hate him or not. He went out on a shield, and that's how he always was. He's a goofy fighter, but you know what I mean? He didn't give up. He was scrapping. He was going at it. He knew Isaac Cruz was coming at him. He knew that it was happening. Isaac Cruz was just hungry. He was hungry. He wanted to take Rolly's head off. He just kept coming. He was not scared. He wanted that. I think it was personal also. I mean, Rolly was getting in Isaac's head, I feel like, with the Chihuahua stuff and all that stuff. So Isaac Cruz really took that to heart. It took it personal. He did not like Rolly. Even after the fight, there was really no sportsmanship. I like to see sportsmanship in boxing, but I can understand why Isaac Cruz, because Rolly was really going at him. You could tell like there wasn't really much sportsmanship. But at the same time, you know, you got to sell a fight. But hey, Isaac Cruz, the new champion at 140. And it's getting crazy because Isaac Cruz like 5'4", very small. I mean, he's small for a lightweight. All right, now he's super lightweight and he won the championship. Now we all know Rolly was a fake champion, right? That fight against Old Man Barroso, that was called off early. We all know that, all right? Old Man Barroso deserved a shot. I call him Old Man Barroso, but he deserved a shot. And because of that, you know, that brings up the question, what's next for Rolly? There's a lot of things. I really don't know. I think Old Man Barroso got screwed over in their fight. So I was hoping to see a rematch there. He currently holds the WBA belt, so maybe we could see a fight there. You know, the WBA interim belt, so maybe we could see a fight there. Oh, what is that, bro? What's up, man? Good explaining right there, by the way. Hey, appreciate that. So maybe we could see a rematch there for the WBA interim title. Now, Barroso doesn't really, you know, he doesn't need to give Rolly a chance there. Why? Because, you know, it was Barroso fighting Rolly for the title, not the other way around. So now that Barroso has the interim title, why does Rolly need to fight him? Why does Barroso need to give Rolly the shot? Now, it's not really Rolly's fault that, you know, the referee called it off early. It's not his fault. It's not Rolly's fault. You know, Rolly was a good sport about it. But, you know, I think Old Man Barroso got screwed over. And he's getting up there in age. And he's only young once. He won the WBA interim title. I like to see a rematch there, but there's really not much for Rolly. He was a C+ to B- level fighter forever, even against Tank, even against Barroso, and even against Cruz. He sharpened up against Cruz. You can definitely see that. Apparently for a self-taught boxer, he definitely improved more. But other than that, I don't know what's really next for Rolly. I don't think he deserves a title shot right off the bat because he didn't really deserve it much to actually win it. Hop back in line. All right, he's definitely above other guys. Maybe depending if Ryan... I think Ryan's going to lose to Devin Haney. So I'd like to see Rolly versus Ryan Garcia. That'd be very good press conference. That'd be also sell some fights. That could headline a pay-per-view fight. If Ryan does lose to Haney, I like to see, of course, Rolly versus Garcia, Rolly versus Ryan for a pay-per-view fight. That'd be pretty good. I like to see that. That's really it for Rolly Romero. What's next for Isaac Cruz? A lot of guys. He's a champ now. He has a say. He could go after Matisse. He could go after Haney. He could go after Ryan. He could go after the winner of those two fights. Let's see. I'm literally going to die waiting for Fury versus Usyk. Dude, I'm so excited for Fury versus Usyk. So excited, man. I'm a Tyson Fury fan. I know not a lot of people might support that, but I've been a Tyson Fury fan from the jump, so I'm not going to switch up just because he's been goofy lately, but that's really it. So, but anyway, that's for Cruz. Haney, Garcia, Shakur, Tank, rematch with Tank. I think, you know, Isaac improved a lot since he got that shine from Tank. The rematch could happen. Anything could happen with the rematch. But that's really it for that fight. And let me say with Jordan Plant too, she did a pretty bad job interviewing though, I must say, with the after the Rolly fight. That was pretty embarrassing. That was pretty embarrassing. Like, just asking dumb questions. Rolly was out of it. He was concussed. He didn't know where he was. And they ask questions like that to instigate, to try to get him going. I think, though. And I know Jordan Plant, she was out for a while. She had a baby. She was married to Caleb Plant. I love Caleb Plant, a great fighter. And I'm sure Jordan loves a nice person, but bad interviewing skills there. You know, Rolly just lost his belt. He got rocked. He didn't know where he was. Ease up on the questions. Just say what went wrong, what's next, and that's it. Don't try to instigate saying, well, you didn't punch him like you said you would. Come on now. It's boxing. Like, anybody who steps in that ring, I respect. I don't care who you are. Let's move on to Tszyu versus Fundora. Fundora won by split decision. And if you watch the fight, there was a huge, massive cut on Tszyu's forehead. And then you even look at Fundora. Broken nose in the first round I saw. He was leaking bad, bleeding out of his mouth. It was a bloodbath. It really was a bloodbath, and it was crazy. It was a really crazy fight. One of the craziest fights I've seen when it comes to like that, with cuts and blood. One of the bloodiest fights I've ever seen. You know what? The bloodiest fight I've ever seen. Respect to Tony Weeks, I think it was. No, not Tony Weeks. That was the other one. That was the other referee. The one who stopped the Burroughs fight early. Another referee. Respect to him. He did a very good job, actually, last night. But Tszyu got a massive cut on his head, blocked his vision the rest of the night, blood running down his face every single time. Didn't matter what they put on. They put this like white cream on his head. Did nothing. Okay, it disappeared after like 15 seconds, and it was just blood all over his face, getting in his eyes. And, you know, I don't like to make excuses, but it's a valid excuse. Getting blood in your eyes against a 6'5" boxer with an incredible jab, sticking it in your face the whole fight. Let me tell you, it's not helpful. It's not helpful. Do I think Tszyu would have won without the blood in his face, without the cut? Absolutely. But he didn't. Fundora won. He holds 2 belts right now at super welterweight, and congrats to him. All right, I'm happy for Fundora. He seems like a nice kid, good, energetic kid as well. Good for him. Good for him. But I think Tszyu deserves a rematch with him. Fundora's manager, though, and PBC, they're gonna let him. They're gonna freeze him. They're gonna freeze Tszyu, and it sucks. They're already trying to push Errol Spence right off the bat, which doesn't make sense to me either. Errol Spence lost against Crawford, and that's okay. It's okay to lose a fight, no doubt about it. But get in line. To lose a fight and then get a title shot for 2 belts in a higher division in your next fight? Come on now. That's a bit disrespectful for the sport of boxing, but I get it. It's a business. It's a business. It's going to sell fights, and that's really it. It's unfortunate to really see that, though, with Tszyu. Good fighter. You know, the son of a legend, and he was a very good boxer. Now, do I think he would have beat Fundora without the cut? Absolutely. Absolutely. But he didn't, and it's boxing. Anything could happen. That elbow didn't even look that bad. When I saw that in slow motion, I mean, even watching the fight live without slow motion, I was like, where did that come from? Didn't even want to see slow motion. Now you look slow motion, and I still didn't really see where the elbow came from. His head's just split open. It was a bad cut. It was a deep cut. It was gushing all night. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Fundora's not going to ease up just because his opponent has blood in his eyes. No, Fundora took advantage of it, and he won, and good for him. Listen, everything happened. Everything happened. Fundora got the victory. Well-deserved, much deserved. But Tszyu just got screwed over. An unfortunate situation, but it's boxing. But like I mentioned, Fundora's manager says Tszyu has to work his way up again. So a bit unfair to Tszyu, who actually gave Fundora the opportunity. Thurman went out. Well, now, you know, it's either call the fight off or find a replacement. All right, let's give Fundora a chance to fight for the belts. Fundora wins. Come on. I think you got to give him a chance. I mean, Errol Spence versus Fundora. I mean, listen, I actually thought Tszyu was going to fold Fundora and hurt him pretty bad, not go past 10 rounds. I still think that would have happened had it not been the cut. But he didn't. Fundora won. So now I can't really say if Fundora is going to, or if Spence is going to beat Fundora. Spence is coming off the loss. He's getting old. He's talking a bit slow, whether that's from the car crash or just regular his accent or just from boxing for however many years he's been boxing. You know, I think Errol Spence is slowing down, and that Crawford fight really, really changed him, really hurt him. I also think Derek James is a bad trainer. If he's even with Derek James anymore, I can't remember. They might have split, but that's what's next for these guys. I don't know. I don't know who else Tszyu could fight. I think only fighter that, you know, Tszyu has next is Fundora. Maybe Crawford versus Tszyu. I don't know. I just feel really bad for Tim Tszyu, man. I really do, because that cut it threw everything off. I think Tszyu should still be champion, but he's not. Fundora won. Respect to Fundora. It's cool to see a 6'5.5" 154-pound fighter. I mean, it's unbelievable that he was doing that. I don't know how far Fundora could go. He could go all the way up to heavyweight, obviously. 6'6". Come on now. But we'll see. We'll see. I think that's really all there is to it. All right. What is that, bruh? Question: why is Ryan Garcia a total weirdo? To literally confess, people. Ryan Garcia's going crazy. We all know that. I don't know what he's been doing. I like to root for Ryan Garcia. I think he's a good guy. Before all this stuff, before the Haney announcement, I always liked Ryan Garcia. He got a lot of haters. Then the Haney fight gets announced and he starts to go off the rails. So that's a bit unfortunate. But it happened. It happened. I don't know. I mean, the fight's still going to happen. I don't know what he was doing. He's been saying crazy stuff all over social media. He said he was going to take a break from social media. 2 hours later, he's posting. And now he's posting every day back to like he was. I don't know. I think Haney wins. If the fight even happens, there's still good. I mean, Ryan Garcia is starting to take it a bit more serious, but there was like a two week time period a couple weeks ago where we didn't know what was going on. Like we just didn't. He was just acting weird. Because he got kidnapped. Everything. I don't know. Ryan Garcia just was going crazy, man. And I'm rooting for him, but I just don't see it happening. I just see Devin Haney actually stopping Ryan Garcia. I know we like to say Devin Haney has pillow hands, which I think he does, but I mean, no boxer really has pillow hands, right? No professional champion has pillow hands. You can still knock out the average dude, and Ryan Garcia's not the average dude. He's a boxer, but I feel like Ryan Garcia's going to come in with a weird energy. He's going to get caught, just like Regis Prograis got caught against Devin Haney, and he went down. Anything could happen. I think Devin Haney wins by decision or stoppage. I wouldn't be surprised if it's actually by stoppage. Ryan Garcia got to lock in. I don't think Derek James is that good of a trainer also. He has Derek James in his corner. It's better than Goosen last fight, but Ryan Garcia should never have lost or never have left the Canelo camp. Disciplined camp. We see what Oscar Valdez just did. Won against Liam Wilson. A very disciplined camp. Canelo, one of the best ever stepped foot in the ring. Reynoso. He keeps his circle small, but I don't know. I don't know why Ryan didn't stay with them. I mean, I know why he didn't want to. He wanted to have more freedom and do things his way. If he would have stuck with Reynoso, who knows what that tank fight would have been like? Who knows if Ryan actually would have been going off the rails? Who knows that? We don't know it. But that's just my thoughts. I think Ryan Garcia should have stayed with Reynoso, but he didn't. I'm just watching Duke versus NC State right now. I'm a big Duke fan of basketball. It's tied up 38-38. This is the Elite Eight. Very talented boxer. Speedy, has crazy sometimes. And I don't know why he's nuts sometimes, but I just like his style. He's a good body shot. And then, I mean, come on. That body shot's crazy. His left hook is insane. I'm an amateur boxer myself. My favorite punch is the left hook. Not as good as Ryan Garcia, but of course, any boxer who has a good left hook, I'm obviously going to follow them because my favorite punch is the left hook. So, I'm a big fan of that left hook that Ryan Garcia has. And that left hook could stop anybody from in that division. That left hook could have stopped Tank had it landed. That left hook could have stopped Ryan Garcia or Devin Haney. Isaac Cruz, maybe even. Definitely Rolly. You know what I mean? Like, Rolly has no chin. Let's be real. But that left hook is insane. And I just hope it goes far. And if he wins, that'd be crazy. It really shocked the world. I knew he wasn't beating Tank. Yeah. His skill is just not there outside of that. His defense is weak. He has to keep that right hand up. You know what I mean? Like, he throws the hook, and here's what happens to his right hand. He throws the hook, he drops his right hand. So, you're not supposed to be doing that. Right hand up and stay in. Easier said than done. Do I, of course, drop my right hand when I'm boxing, when I'm sparring? Absolutely. I remember the one time I was sparring, I got on footage. I'm thinking, I look great. Like, there can't be nothing wrong. There's no winner in sparring, but I was working the dude. I'd say I won the sparring, if that's a thing, but obviously you don't take sparring that serious. But, I was thinking, I did everything perfect. I watched the footage. I'm throwing a hook, dropping my hand. I'm throwing the jab. I'm dropping my hand. You know what I mean? Boxing lesson. And obviously Ryan Garcia knows more than me. He's a pro. Derek James knows more than me. But, I mean, I'm sure we all could agree. Even Ryan Garcia, that's the reason why he trained. That's the reason why Derek James is trying to teach him to keep his right hand up. When you throw a punch, you keep the other hand here. You throw the two, you keep the other hand here. You throw the right hook, you throw the other hand here. You don't drop your hands. But it's easier said than done, believe it or not. Because you just don't think about it. Because that's why it takes rounds and rounds of training. Rounds and rounds of training. You got to be disciplined. You got to practice. You know what I mean? As an upcoming amateur boxer, I'm really going to try hard in my career to raise money for my aunt who currently has cancer, man. That's awesome. Well, awesome. Let me say that. It's awesome that you're going to be trying to raise money and trying to work hard. But I'm very sorry to hear that your aunt has cancer. That's very unfortunate, and I hope your aunt, of course, gets better. But it's definitely awesome that you're willing to work and really try to raise money for your aunt. That's unfortunate, though. I hate cancer. Cancer is one of the worst things in this world. I'm really sorry to hear that, though, about your aunt. And, you know, whether you raise the money or not, I hope your aunt gets through it. Let's see. Where'd my tissues go? Nah, well, I got allergies. As upcoming amateurs, I don't know if you're still watching, but do you have... What's your weight in amateur boxing? Oh, here's tissues. I'll probably end this show soon. I appreciate everybody watching, though. And yeah, I know that you, what is that, bruh? I'm just gonna call you that. I don't know your real name. But, yeah, you're a big supporter of the channel. You always comment a lot, and I really appreciate that. You have Roberto Duran as your profile picture. I'm a very small weight. 102. Yeah, 102. Hey, best of luck, though, with that fight. Your profile picture is Roberto Duran. I know him himself. He fought just to take care of his family. Well, I wish you the best of luck. And I'll say this. This is just the reality. You're a very small weight. I don't know how old you are. Or how tall you are. Because obviously if you're young, well then 102 is not bad. But, you know, if you want to get as much money as you could in boxing, try to just you know, you got to go up in weight. You have to go up in weight because that weight division, 102, it's hard to make money and get recognition at that weight. You want to try to work your way up to the 120s, at least 130s. I'm sure you know that, though. And, you know, just have backup plans, dude. Like, I get it. It's easy to say, you know, you have plan A, you want to chase that dream, but things could happen. Injuries could happen. Anything could happen. You know what I mean? Just have that backup plan to get money for you and your family. You know, like getting an actual job or something like that. I just want to test the audio again, if you don't mind. Testing the audio. I'm here, Big Donch episode, Big Donch Show. I just want to test the audio again, if you don't mind. Yeah. Testing the audio. I'm here, Big Donch episode, Big Donch Show. Okay. Sorry for the echo. Yeah, I just ate a turkey for Easter dinner, so I hope that honestly helps me either junior flyweight or just flyweight. Well, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking? Because if you're young, you have a long way to go. You know, 102, I wouldn't be worried. Now, in the amateurs, of course, fight at whatever weight you could. They get experience. Thanks for the bird. Not much fights coming up soon, though. I mean, we have Ryan Garcia and Haney on April 20th, waiting for Fury versus Usyk. We have Loma versus Kambosos. Shakur's back in the ring, even though he's fighting a no-name. Arthur Beterbiev versus Bivol, I'm excited for. So, you know, another good year of boxing, but Not really much happening in the next 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks really. I guess April 20th, 3 weeks away. But before that, not really much. Well, everybody, I'm going to head out. I appreciate everybody watching. Hope you all have a good Easter. And, I'll be going live again, so make sure to tune in. Happy to talk to all you guys during my show. I really appreciate everybody watching, though. And make sure to subscribe. I'm out, guys. Peace. Oh, we're canceled now. That messed it up. I'm out, guys. Peace.